So much for inviting us to come talk about our exciting new products. Every time NIKKEN has a product launch, I never know what to expect, and I get blown away every single time. And you know, when I heard about the products, and especially when I heard that we had new tri-phase shampoo and conditioner, I have to say that I'm like, that's fascinating. And then I got the products, right, Brody? I mean, didn't you kind of like, shampoo and conditioner?
I sat back and I thought, you know, I had a hard time scoping of the thought of laying on a magnetic mattress. I was embarrassed about that to begin with. And then that blew me away. But if you told me 20 years ago that I would have been selling magnetic shampoo, you got to be kidding me.
I know. I had the same thing. I'm like, okay.
And then I got it, and it was like putting mud in my hand and stuffing it into my hair. I'm like, what is this? But
I know. Yeah.
So
you open it up and it's gray mud. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
but then I followed the directions.
Yep.
And you know, most shampoo and conditioner, especially the conditioner, you do not leave on your scalp. You don't even put it on your scalp. You just put it on your hair. Well, you might, Brody, because your hair is a little shorter than mine. But you don't put it on your scalp. In fact, especially if, you know, I work out a lot, so sometimes I do wash my hair often. They say you really shouldn't wash your hair more than 2 to 3 times a week. Otherwise, it does deplete your scalp. So I consciously put it on my scalp and I massaged it in because I have had some cysts in my scalp. And they don't know why. And I'm like, bentonite clay. Well, this is actually not just a shampoo and a conditioner, but it's actually a treatment. So it's not just a treatment either. It's also a shampoo and a conditioner. So I consciously, you know, us women that have to shave, that takes longer in the shower. So I consciously, you know, shampoo my hair. I usually do it twice because it is long. Mm-hmm. And I massage it in. And then I put the conditioner in and I massage that in, which is not what I normally do with conditioner. And then I'm leaving it on at least probably 2 or 3 minutes. And then, you know, actually I've been blown away. In fact, it's been laughable how blown away I am because it is tri-phase shampoo and conditioner. So what that means is it has the magnetics is built into the shampoo and the conditioner, which is the energy of the earth. And our body, you know, works with that really, really good. It needs it.
Yeah, plus the far infrared and the negative ions. And it's amazing, the results.
Exactly. Yeah. And the far infrared from the energy of the sun, it's calming. It helps with inflammation, as do the negative ions. And so we have all 3 components in here. And I actually had a friend that was with me and I picked up this shampoo and conditioner. And the next night I saw her, I was actually at a local hotel and they interviewed me for something. And the cameraman afterwards, he's like, your hair is so shiny. What do you do? And I actually laughed. I'm like, seriously? I mean, we just came out with this. I've used it once.
Right.
And the cameraman's asking, your hair is so shiny, which made me laugh. And I told him about it. And then I'm outside in the dark in the parking lot talking to my friend. She's like, did you just get your hair done? It looks so good. And I'm like, seriously? This is the shampoo and conditioner I got yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I'm like, you were there. And it's just, wow. I mean, how to hit a home run with shampoo and conditioner, totally unexpected.
Well, I was talking with Becky Wilkie. They won the Summer Sizzle contest. And she's got peppering hair. It's graying and all that type of stuff. And I didn't realize this, but when we went up there, she says that gray hair gets thick.
Stiff. Yeah, it's stiffer, yeah.
Bend and shape and all that type of stuff. Well, and she said, she noticed her hair was really soft. And I noticed that too. It's a lot softer. But she said the gray hair totally made it soft and manageable. And now she's like early 60s and she got stopped in the grocery store. Someone said, what are you doing to your hair? It looks wonderful. And she said she hadn't had, you know, maybe a couple decades before someone had said something like that. And that was just 2 days after getting this. And I've had several people say the exact same thing. So you're not alone and you're glistening.
It's so fun. And you know what else? Another thing I've observed, because I do work out, I use my sauna. And I washed my hair last Saturday morning because we had a launch event. And I didn't need to wash it until this morning, actually. This is Thursday. And I went to Zumba last night, so I mean, I was going to wash it today anyway. But and I use my sauna. I've used my sauna, I think, 3 times this week. And your style lasts longer. It just looks better longer, so it maintains. So I don't know, it's rebalancing, you know, what's going on in your scalp magically again. And it lasts for, I mean, this is what, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, washed it. Oh my gosh, on the 6th day. That's unheard of for me. Wow.
You know, if I can, I would like to share a little learning curve that I have had. I know that we have chemicals that we get sometimes from lotions and shampoos and so forth. But when they launched this, they were so busy talking about all the cool things that it does do. They didn't spend a lot of time on the bad things that it doesn't do. It said, you know, no sulfates, no PEGs, no, you know, none of the bad stuff. And I did a little research, and it was really scary to me. I mean, they say when you take a pill through the mouth, you know, you've got all the enzymes to break it down, and you've got acid in your stomach, and that stuff actually protects you from certain damage that chemicals can give you. And so now they're trying to find a way, well, how do we give people drugs without having to have those drugs damaged by the body? And so they're making patches where they can put medication directly into people through the skin. You've heard of nicotine patches and all those types of things.
Hormone patches.
Yeah. And so what they're doing is they're giving people drugs through the skin because the skin doesn't have the defense. And when is the skin the weakest? Well, babies, because their skin is fairest, and the younger the skin, the weaker it is at being able to defend. And when the pores are open, which is when we shower, warm showers. So that's when it's going to take the most stuff in. And so I learned about sulfates. They said when you take a shampoo or something that has sulfates in it, it's in the system for over 5 days, and it's in the heart, and it's in the liver, and in the brain, and in the lungs longer. And the sulfates will actually, they will strip the natural moisturizing agents in our skin away from us. So when you use shampoo, you're actually stripping away that protective covering that we have, the protective oil that we have, and those sulfates will cause rashes, and get this, hair loss.
Wow.
So people are using shampoos that are causing them to lose hair, and it also makes them more prone to dandruff. So then they have to buy another product to take care of their dandruff and so forth. There's a journal of investigative dermatology, and it said that a lot of these sulfates not only do that to the scalp, but they're damaging the hair, causing it to crack, and then causing inflammation in the tissue. So then there was more research on sulfates showing that it is literally a carcinogen, that your shampoo is more likely to cause cancer. And I'm like, really? I'm glad we've got this stuff to be able to keep that stuff away. Now, parabens are another thing that it says that we don't have in our product. And they did a study about parabens, and they took samples of breast cancer that was removed, and 99% of the samples contained parabens. So they've got this strong link between parabens and cancer. The other thing that happens is that parabens mimic and take the place of, in many cases, estrogen in the body. So people end up having hormonal problems because of using parabens, and it synthetically grabs and alters how the body's working. Another one that we don't have any chemical fragrances. There are over 3,100 chemical fragrances that have been known to be used in all of these types of products. And here's what those chemicals are causing. Let's see, liver toxicity, damage to the central nervous system, allergies, brain fog, obesity, asthma, headaches, contact dermatitis, organ toxicity, and cancer. They go on and on with this list of stuff that just the fragrances are causing for damages for people. And then one last one is PEGs, polyethylene glycol.
That's a PEG again.
Hey, that's my wife's name. She is not in your shampoo.
Woo! Well,
But they actually have changed the name of polyethylene glycol in the ingredients so that you don't even recognize it's there many times. But this is a big one, really big one, for DNA and RNA toxicity, especially if you're pregnant. You really, really should be avoiding it because it's causing damage to DNA and RNA, even birth defects, and then really dangerous for kids. So the fact that we don't have the PEGs, and that we don't have the fragrances, we don't have the sulfates, and we don't have the parabens, I'm like, yeah! Plus, I get to put mud in my hair again, and I haven't done that since I was 5.
and, and plus, our entire line of True Elements skincare doesn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So our shower gel, so a lot of people don't think about all of the different things, like shampoo and conditioner, yay, we don't have it in there.
Yeah.
Our skincare, yay, we don't have it in there. Our body gel, yay, we don't have it in there. So you look at all these things that NIKKEN is like helping to prevent us from having to have on our bodies. In fact, you can even use the shower gel as your shaving lotion in the shower. Because if you look at all the shaving creams, except for one that I've found, they all have mineral oil, which actually locks your skin so no moisture comes or goes.
Yeah.
So it actually can cause more health issues. And especially for women, they're shaving half their body.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mineral oil. So, to once again prevent.
I use the cleansing milk to shave with.
Do you?
Yummy, yummy.
Huh.
And the shower gel is phenomenal stuff. I mean, it's a great, great product. I want to go back to one thing on the shampoo. I will tell you, when I saw it, I thought, wow, that's kind of expensive. And so I thought, well, let's see, is it really? So I called up my wife and I say, honey, just out of curiosity, how much do you spend on shampoo? She said,
Why?
That's
Right? Why? Yeah.
You don't want to know that. And I said, no, really, how much? She said, no, you don't want to know that. And I showed her this stuff, and she goes, this is a good deal. So excited about this product. I've had
the results. I mean, it just comes down to the results.
Yeah, and we've got 20-year-olds. I mean, I got this gal, Molly Simpson's daughter. She has this huge head of hair, and she was raving about it. I've got a gal that she's in her mid-60s. She's Oriental, has hair that's way down. I mean, like almost to her knees, and she raved about it. And I love this stuff. And talk about the bentonite, because I didn't know a lot about bentonite except I went to a launch and someone said people eat bentonite for detoxification.
You do. You actually, the dry form, and you mix it in water and you drink it. It's great for detoxification and repair. Really, I mean, if you have any skin issues, you put bentonite clay, like a rash, you put that on. So, I mean, people could be putting it on their whole body if they're having issues with it, really, to be soothing and help with the detoxification. In fact, we had a product launch, and the group I happened to ask, does anybody know about bentonite clay? And half the room raised their hand, which totally surprised me. I'm like, okay, great, you guys already know about the health benefits, but yeah, a lot of colon hydrotherapists. I actually have a whole gallon of dry bentonite clay. It's from Texas. And, they make facial masks out of it and hair masks, and we have it in our product.
It's just built in.
Built in. The conditioner and the shampoo. It's in both.
Yeah, I love how it feels, because it's almost like warm as you put it on. And it, as you said, soothing. I know that sounds crazy from a shampoo, but it does feel soothing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because it's taken out the colorants of my hair. I felt like it was giving me like a heavy head when I would get my hair colored. So I was going to even shave my head. Remember, Linda?
I do. I didn't think that was a good idea, but I remember.
Well, I know, but I couldn't stand it. And this is fixing it. I couldn't stand the way my head felt inside from this, the stuff from the shampoo. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sweet.
I don't have to shave my head now.
Awesome. Awesome. So whoever's listening to this, get your shampoo right away. All right. What's next, Linda?
Well, what's next for me is I'm going to go do a Curb Your Sugar Cravings class. So
that is wonderful.
let me talk about the Kinko Touch for a moment, and then I'll hand it over to you, Brody, to carry on, because I think you've had yours a couple more days than I have. But the Kinko Touch, once again, tri-phase technology. I have to turn it upside down so it's the right direction. We've been waiting for this for 3 years. Magnetics, once again, which we love magnets. If you don't know about magnets, you need to find out about magnets because they can totally change your life like they did mine. You want to feel happy and uplifted and feel good, or do you want to feel sad and achy and stiff and unhappy again?
How many years of daily chronic migraines did you have?
22 years, 24 hours a day, 17 different types of doctors that did not have a solution.
And
Yep.
Someone suckered you into putting a magnet on.
Actually, they suckered me into buying a sleep system, a magnet on my neck, one to put over my eyes, and one under my head on my pillow, and one to cover the sleep system.
I will tell you, when I first heard about my family using this stuff, I thought whoever did this and told them had to be the best con artist on the planet. It just sounded crazy to me. But I was blown away by the transformation. I mean, my brother-in-law, 11 years with the major back problems, gone. My mom, 2 major degenerative diseases. She got, like you did, the whole sleep system, and she had 30 magnets taped to her. All of the symptoms gone, all of the medication gone. And I had had 5 years with the chronic respiratory problems and headaches and sleep problems, and it just all went away. It's phenomenal. So, yeah, I learn about magnets, even if it sounds crazy.
People, I think, are becoming more and more aware. It makes sense. And so I've really noticed that lately. Individuals are like, oh, I heard about that. I want to know about that. So this new device, you just turn it on, and you can see the pumping action. And you can turn it up a little higher, and one more time. So you can just put it wherever you have an issue or discomfort. And we've used a wave detector, magnetic wave detector, to show that it goes all the way through, your body. It's not just on the surface. So that's a good thing to know about. And sorry, Brody, you went away. So, but it also has the far infrared technology and the negative ion technology. And what I found to be most fascinating about this is how rapidly we're getting results with using this. In fact, even myself today, I was in the car, I just turned it on and put it behind my back when I was driving. So you can either have it working directly on you with the pulsing, or you could just put it in the general area. And I literally put it by one of my clients' feet a few days ago because she had an ankle issue. And I told her, you can just lay it there. And I can put my feet close to it also. So both of our feet are getting all these benefits. And I actually could feel the energy, which I don't always feel the energy from magnetism. But with this, I could feel that warm soothing just coming up my legs. And I'm like, wow, that's very cool. And I have a guy that sprained his ankle. He literally put it on for 3 minutes on his ankle. He was limping.
Wow.
And this man had never used magnetics before. He's not somebody I would figure would ever admit to them ever working. You know how some people are, right? They're very analytical, more so than even I. Yeah, you too. And he walked over, and literally 3 minutes, he's like, it's gone. I'm like, and actually I just gotten it that day. And I looked at him, really? He's like, I wouldn't lie to you. I'm like, well, I wouldn't think you would, but wow, really? And I talked to him 2 days later, and he's like, still gone. It just, that's all it took. So not everybody might get that quick a result, but they might.
Well, I can't tell you how excited I am about that particular product, because the predecessors, we've had, well, you could say 3 generations of design before. One, the Mag Duo, which is a manual unit. 2, the Palm Mag, and then the Mag.
Power Mag. Palm Mag, Power Mag.
Palm Mag and Power Mag, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And those technologies were absolutely phenomenal with what they did. I had people getting rid of upset stomachs and flus. I had people with nerve damage they'd had for years, and that nerve damage was gone. I mean, one gal was the side of her face she hadn't been able to feel in a decade. And within literally in under 30 minutes, all the feeling was back. Another person had a stroke, hadn't been able to use the right side of their body for 2 years, gained hand motion, arm motion, and was able to walk again. I mean, just huge, huge things. And with that product there, we've already seen big stuff. I mean, people with hip problems who've had surgery, they still hurt, and transformations. One gal after 3 days, another gentleman after 2 days. We've had people with shoulder issues. We've had people with back stuff. And this is going to be one of the most phenomenal technologies, and it's durable. They've given it a warranty over 3 times as long as its predecessor.
Really? How long is it?
It's a year warranty on it.
Okay.
So the previous one only had a 3-month warranty. That one had a 3-year warranty, and that one isn't just magnetics. It's magnetics, far infrared, and negative ion technology that's awesome. In fact,
and you recharge it with a USB.
Yes.
A mini USB.
Everyone's got those phone cords hanging around their house, so that's perfect. I did some look at Dr. Oz did a presentation on pulsed magnetic fields. And they've already proven pulsed magnetic fields for a wide variety of things, ranging from broken bones and mending those, wound healing, pain and tissue swelling, and as well as treating depression. So that's the regular medical world has said pulsed magnetic fields helps with that. The challenge is the medical world uses pulsed electromagnetic fields. And because of the electricity and the frequency, it can cause some damage to other parts of the body, where ours are static magnets, totally 100 completely safe, amazing. We're going to see people are going to have changes with sleep with this. According to Dr. Oz, there's research suggesting improved energy, circulation, blood and tissue oxygenation, sleep quality, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, uptake of nutrients, cellular detoxification, and ability to regenerate cells. Now,
and it's calming and uplifting all at the same time.
Yeah, it's just, one thing I encourage people to think about is I want you to think about when your body is just lacking energy. When you don't have any energy, how quickly do you get sick after that? I mean, boom. And all this is just adding energy to the body, and then the body is able to do what it's supposed to do naturally. It is phenomenal what we're seeing with that technology right there.
It's so easy.
And completely safe.
Completely safe. No negative effects.
Anything else that you love about that?
I like the portability. It's easy to hold. Sometimes I like to put my right arm under my pillow at night, which I know is not good for me. But sometimes I've had, because I was born with a neck issue, I get a crick in my neck and my hand will fall asleep. So literally, when I first get in bed, I put this right up here for 4 minutes, and then I can do whatever I want.
Sweet. One side of it has,
awesome.
One side of that thing has 4 little rubbers on it on the bottom, so that it won't slide on a table or glass. On the flat side.
Oh, okay.
So at the bottom, those, and I love that because you can just stick that and put it on an end table and turn it on, and it'll just shoot out that magnetic field. Foot and a half, 2 feet, pumps that baby out by wherever you have it. So it has something to stabilize it, where the other one's just sheer plastic and can fall off and break.
Did. And
so that is there's some wonderful things about the design of that product that they've just done a real major home run with. So
I didn't even notice that, Brody, so thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. So for those of you who end up watching this, you can order the shampoo, or you can order the Kinko Touch at a discount. Now, the cool thing is you get 2 of the Kinko Touches. And some people say, why do I want 2? Well, good grief. In my household, there's one at every bed, okay? Because the kids use them on a nonstop basis when they get sore and achy. We've got kids in football. We've got kids in basketball. We've got kids that get, like a flu or something like that. The other thing is I have one that I loan out to folks and they get results, then they want one themselves. So it's a really great tool to be able to let people try. And then the other thing is you got Christmas coming up. And with this launch, you can get it at a 10% discount plus free shipping on these puppies. So that and the shampoo are big deals that way.
And that's the month of November. So you have to contact us. If it's still November, don't dilly-dally.
You know what? While we're going through this, some people don't know about the new mental clarity. And I have been blown away. I've got Peggy Goodman's a physical therapist. And she's in her early 60s, if I recall. And she said that, as you age, things aren't as clear. And she got the new mental clarity, and she said it was, she took a double dose. And we're recommending you take a double dose your first month with that thing. But she said it was unbelievable, the transformation. And they have herbs in there that are huge for adaptogenic properties. Now, adaptogenics is when your body gets stressed. You've heard of people that they get so stressed that they have a nervous breakdown or they just literally can't function. There was a guy out of Elk Ridge, Utah. He'd had a nervous breakdown and he'd been couch bound for 2 years. Just didn't have the oomph to get up and go and do anything. And his chiropractor had given him adaptogenic herbs. And literally in under 2 days, his whole outlook on life was transformed. Adaptogenics are things specifically designed to help the body deal with stress. And so if you have a stressful life, that Clarity product will be phenomenal. They also have things in there that are helpful with nerve regeneration. So people who need quick responses, athletes, are going to benefit immensely from this Clarity product. If you have kids that are needing mental acuity for their testing or whatever it is, if you know people that are in jobs where they need to be on edge, be able to get things quickly and have things recall. And so if you're looking for an edge in your work, I encourage you, get a hold of this new Clarity product. Many of the ingredients have been fermented, and therefore they absorb better than anything else you're going to find out there. Healthy gut makes for a healthy life, and if you don't get through the gut, so that product is huge.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know all that myself, so that's great information. Who would think that from Clarity you'd be having nerve regeneration possibilities? That's very exciting.
It is.
Marnie has a wonderful testimonial about mental clarity. I don't know if we can hear her.
Is that on the new one or the former one?
The new one.
Wow, I don't see her on anymore.
She's there.
Oh, there she is. I see her.
Hand is raised, but I don't know how to help her to get on. So I will just tell you what she told me. When she first got it, I think the first night maybe, she called me the next day and she was just so excited. She'd taken Green Dimes and the Mental Clarity the day before, and she said she hadn't slept that well in a year and a half.
Wow.
She loved, and I just loved it just because she could sleep.
Yeah.
Because she had a few things happen to her, and she was thinking that she might have some nerve damage, so that might have fixed it.
Very cool. So Green Zymes and the new Clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, the organic lion's mane mushroom is helping to induce nerve growth, which is a big deal. The sprouted purple corn has anthocyanins, huge antioxidant benefits that go into that. And periwinkle leaf is big for blood flow to the brain. So the bacoba is huge for focus and concentration. So anyway, I'm
going to get me some of that.
Yeah, I've had multiple people who literally one day take a double dose their first day and they're just falling in love with the mental clarity.
Wow. How exciting. Well, I'm going to let you guys continue. I'm going to go talk about how to curb your sugar cravings with our KDB, Vital Balance. So,
all right.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So do you mind if I talk, Heather, real quick about 10-4?
Oh, please do.
So our 10-4 product is a phenomenal herbal tea, if you will. You can have it warm, you can have it cold. And we've had so many amazing results with it. It's made with matcha. which is the emperor's tea. It's been known for its ability to help with focus. It's also known for its anti-cancer properties, its antioxidant properties, healthy heart, lots of huge health benefits. But there's so many people that take energy drinks that are so damaging to the body. And this isn't going to jolt somebody, but it will help to give focus and clarity. And because you have clarity, a sense of energy. And in addition to that, there are people whose systems are wired such that, you get people who are bipolar, or people that have ADD or ADHD, or several, whether it be a condition or states of mind, where they will actually take something to stimulate their body to allow it to focus, in effect, calm down. So I have people that use 10-4. A lot of people think of it as an energy product. I don't like calling it that. I like calling it a focus product, because for some people, they take it at night, which is contrary to what you'd think you would do with an energy product. They take it at night, and it allows them to sleep. I had one gal that was suicidal, and she took 3 of them one night, and it allowed her to sleep. And she had been in trouble for 10 years, and it was just this huge transformation. So not only do we have something that can help people get energized, but it's also a major antioxidant, major anti-cancer, but it is healthy for you. And they found a way now, instead of 28 calories, it's down to just 8. It's all USDA certified organic, a wonderful reformulation with that, and that's going to be available, my understanding is, within a week. So take a look at the new 10-4 product there. Phenomenal, phenomenal. So Heather, on this recording, do you want me to go over the new announcements at all, or we...
Yes, the new incentives are wild. I love them.
Okay. Well,
please, because I can't hear enough of it.
Okay, so let me see if I can find them. Launch update, here it is.
I don't think we've ever had such great bonuses. I really don't.
No, it's phenomenal. And I'm not going to go into all of the detail for those of you who are watching this. I'll give the basics to help you get started here. But this should help you get a foundation for what is, why NIKKEN literally is the absolute best thing out there right now when it comes to being able to share and transform lives. And for some people, the transformation they need most is actually not their physical well-being, but finances and the stresses that finances cause. So we're going to share on here. They say that there are some grand essentials to life, things that if you have these things, life is good. And if you don't have them, life ain't so good. So the grand essentials to life, something to do. Something that, and I wouldn't say just any old something, because there's a lot of people who have something to do. 80% of Americans polled said they really don't like their job. They don't feel it stimulates them. They don't feel it adds to the people in the world around them. They just feel it has no meaning. So I would actually say something meaningful to do would be one of the essentials in life. How about something to love, or someone to love, or preferably many people to love and care about, and to pour yourself out on them so you don't have to spend so much time thinking about yourself, that sometimes we grow and become whole by the mere act of loving and caring for others. And the other one is something to hope for. There are a lot of people who don't feel they have a whole lot of hope. They feel stuck. And if you find somebody who's stuck and down and out, and you give them something to do, meaningful, something to love, someone to love, and something to hope for, do you think that would make for a grand life as opposed to not having a grand life? And I really feel that these 3 things have really hit on it. And these are actually reasons I fell in love with NIKKEN. Something to do, help people, feel good. People who haven't felt good for days, weeks, months, decades, and give them a new hope for life because of a physical transformation. And then we find people that not only do we love that we help, but we fall in love with the people that we help. And we end up with this whole family of people that we love and care for because of the amazing opportunity that Mr. Masuda gave us. You know, they say if you receive something of value, you almost have a moral obligation to pass that on to other people. And we do that naturally. We read a good book that enriches our life, we tell other people. We hear a movie that changes us, and we tell other people. And even we find a good sale at the grocery store. My wife found butter at you know, it was half off, and she called 4 of her neighbors to tell them, hey, the butter's off. Go to this grocery store. We do it all the time. But when we have something of value to do, we share it with other people that we love. And the cool thing with NIKKEN is that they've given, the sky's the limit. In many jobs, there's this glass ceiling. You can't go any higher than your job description allows. Or some jobs say you can do as much as you want, but there's only so much time in a day, and you get limited by that. With NIKKEN, we don't have those limits. So one of the first transformations that NIKKEN has done over this last year is that we are now in the age of the customer. In network marketing, it used to be that if you wanted something from a network marketing company, you just basically had to sign up. People said, you got to sign up and you got to pay the fee, and then people had to, they had to be on this monthly shipment, and they didn't like network marketing because of the mandatory things that you had to do. Well, what if you could get involved and use a network marketing company's products and there was no fee? What if you could actually get phenomenal prices, 25% off a monthly shipment, some of the best you're going to find in the industry? So what NIKKEN has done is they've made a really phenomenal customer model where our retail products are now less than our wholesale used to be. They've done some phenomenal things to help strengthen this business and make it very customer friendly. 80% of our people were always just people who signed up because they wanted to just get the product. They didn't intend on building the business, and now they don't have to pay to do that. So let me share some things that have happened here. Old school, it used to be $60 to get a membership with NIKKEN. And now, with all these amazing improvements, it's only $99 to be involved with NIKKEN. Isn't that awesome? Well, some people would say, no, that doesn't look good. But let me show you the layers underneath. Old school, we paid $60, but then every month, in order to have access to the back office, to have a personal web page so that people could shop and get the products, it was another $350 worth of fees. So there's $410 annually just to do your business. Well, new school, $99 gets your membership, but guess what? The back office and your personal web pages are free. So it's phenomenal for those who do want to share. And this part of the presentation, by the way, is just for those who, if you used our products, or you think, man, I know someone that needs good sleep, or I know someone that's got years with the back problems, or everybody at my work is grouchy and they need mental clarity, and you think you're going to share this with them, then it makes sense to become a consultant with NIKKEN, pay the $99, and be an ambassador for good with everyone that you meet. Share this stuff. Now, here's, as you share not just a little, but you start sharing several things and large amounts of stuff over time, you can get rank advancements where you can get a greater percentage. The old senior rank, and I apologize, in fact, I should edit this right now. The old senior rank was 1,500 points, and 500 of it had to be personal. And now I think it's not showing the right thing. Just a moment. It's missing some of it. Here we go. There we go. The old senior rank was 1,500 points, and 500 had to be underneath your ID number, and they give you 1 month to do it. And for that, you got a 5% rebate and override. Well, new school is starting January the 1st. Seniors, all current seniors, will become executives and they're going to double their income. So instead of just getting 5%, they're going to get 10%. Now, I want you to understand that because we've introduced the customer model, there's an additional 20% on top of that every time someone, the moment they sign up, sells with a customer, they've got that. So our seniors now have effectively increased their income by 6-fold from 1 year ago. Our directs have had an infinite increase because directs before made nothing. And now they've had that 20% they get with the customers. So NIKKEN has made a huge, huge transformation for new people as they launch off. Starting in January, executive will be 1,500. You won't have the 500. There are no bypass rule anymore. So someone below you could do the whole 1,500. As long as you do 100 points worth of sales to a customer, no problem. And you have 3 months to accumulate, not just 1 month. So that busy mom or someone who's already holding down a daytime job and a part-time job and who's trying to get out of having to work around the clock, they can do NIKKEN on a very part-time basis, build up, and then create a significant income stream as they get their percentages up, because they now allow them 3 months to do it, which is a huge, huge perk. Old school, we had a rank called bronze, which was 10,000 points. You got 15%. Starting January 1st, all bronzes are automatically advanced to the silver level. And they will also get the leadership bonuses if it applies to them in their organization. That's huge. A free upgrade that goes with that. So all bronzes are automatically becoming silver. What is it going to take to go silver? It used to be, when I went, you had 1 month. Took 20,000 points. Now they're giving you 3 months to go silver. It used to be 20,000 points. Right now, for the months of November and December, it's 12,000 points. For the last 3 years, it's been 12,000 points. Drum roll, please. The big news is just 6,000 points, and you're going to be able to go silver. Of course, you have to, 100 of that has to be at least a customer sales that you've done through your ID number. The final month that you go silver, you're going to have at least 1,000 of their volume is outside your primary leg and 500 outside your secondary leg. And I'll define that for you in just a few minutes. We'll get to that. Know that your personal volume counts for the farthest outside volume. But the big news, just 6,000. You don't have to have 3 seniors. You just have to create the volume, and they give you 3 months to do it. So that is big, big news. Now, also big news for our upper ranks in NIKKEN, and everyone's going to be an upper rank who decides to build this. It used to be we had to have key leadership people in key positions. Well, the problem that made was that as organizations evolved, let's say someone had a divorce, or someone had a major event in their family that made it they couldn't do something with NIKKEN, well, that affected everybody in their upline. Even though volume was still being produced, we had to make sure that one person was still doing okay. And what they've done now is they've made it so that it's just volume-based. So that as I age, and I choose to pass this on to my children, if my leaders have aged, in the old days, in the old program, I could have passed on something that could not earn them a dime. But now, all they do is just pick up and start building wherever it's at and help volume wherever it's at. And they're not penalized because an organization has grown old. We've now created a compensation plan that is truly a legacy compensation plan. Key terms to use and learn are organizational volume, outside primary leg volume, and outside secondary leg volume. So I want to help define this with a picture right now so you understand what these terms mean and why this is so significant and makes us so unique in the network marketing industry. So typically, many companies out there right now are binary programs where they say, you go sponsor 2 people, and what happens is they continue to sponsor in one leg, and they say, oh, we're going to build for you. And you could have hundreds of thousands in volume. This thing may grow out really, really big, and you may have a leg that has, let's say, 3,000 people in it, okay? But unless you build the other leg out, you don't get paid a dime. And in this case, they say you have to build this out to match it with 3,000 people in order to get paid on the whole organization. If you only have 10 people, you're only going to get paid on 10 people on both sides, no matter how big all this rest of it is. Well, now let me introduce to you what NIKKEN has done. They've said, here you are. We're not going to limit you to 2. You may have more than 2 friends. In fact, the average person knows well over 600 people by name. They may not know that they do, but that's what they found the averages are. I had a hard time figuring that I knew more than 20 people by name, but they said the average person over 600, but certainly more than 2. And they found in network marketing companies, yeah, you're typically going to have one big mega organization. And then you're going to have another one that's a little smaller, and you'll have another one that's less than that. And typically they find these grow in a ratio of thirds. So let's say that this is your primary leg because it has the largest amount of volume. Most in average network marketing company, the secondary leg would be a third of that volume, okay? And the next leg after that would be a third of the size of the one before it. Well, here is what NIKKEN has done. They've said your organizational volume, your OV, is your entire organization. No matter how big, how deep, how wide it is, you can do it unlimited to create your organizational volume. And that is what is needed to build upper ranks. And then they said, after a certain point, we want you to help people that are outside your primary leg. Everything that is outside your primary leg, all of this area right here, and when I say all of it, I mean every single person who's not part of the primary leg is part of your secondary leg, okay? And I shouldn't say secondary leg, the correct term they use is outside primary. OP is everything that doesn't include the outside the primary. Now, they have another term that says, you probably have another leg right here that is another good leg, this guy right here. Everything that is not part of your primary, not part of that one, is called outside your secondary. So this would be your secondary leg. Everything that's not part of your primary or secondary is outside your secondary leg. So what they've done is, for instance, there's a rank called Diamond, where if you have 100,000 volume total in your organization, your OP outside primary doesn't have to match it. It's only 33,000. And then your outside secondary is only 10,000, matching this rule of natural thirds. And if you do that, they're going to pay you on everything, not just your smallest leg, not matching the smallest legs. Folks, that is unheard of in this industry. And that is an absolutely phenomenal way to move forward. So know that we've got a groundbreaking concept in our compensation plan that is really going to help people move forward in a phenomenal way. So now to begin wrapping up, I want to share some really excellent incentives that the company has introduced that are we don't want people waiting until January 1st. And so what they've done is they've given us a reason to get serious now. If you go senior right now into the current rules, 1,500 points, you can earn anywhere from 250 to 325 NIKKEN reward dollars. What that means is free product. If all of the 1,500 points, so let's say you wanted to get your sleep system, and you push the retail button, if you push the retail button, the points will count towards rank, then you could earn $325 worth of product for free. So that means you could get your water system and your insoles for free. All in favor of free product, say aye. That's huge. Now, the next incentive is if you say, I do want to share this with other people, and you help 3 other people not only get results with the products, but you help them learn how to share it with other people. If you have 3 people go senior, you then achieve the step-up program if you help 3 people go senior in 1 month. And folks, you need to pay real close attention to this. There are 10 prizes given out each month. 2 people get $250. 2 people get $500. Someone gets $750. Someone gets $1,000. Someone gets $1,500. Someone gets $1,750. Someone gets $2,000. Someone gets $2,500. Now, it doesn't take a lot to get 3 seniors. People used to have to do it all the time to go silver. But because NIKKEN has introduced this rule where they say, oh, you can take 3 months to get silver done, many people stretch it out. And we have very few people who are actually doing 3 in 1 month at the moment. So last month, there were only 2 people who won this prize. So the first one got $2,500 and the next one got $2,000. Who could use a Christmas bonus? This is open to everybody, no matter whether you're just beginning or whether you've been in for a long time. And some people say, oh, if you've been in for a long time, it's easier. No, we've already talked to most of the folks that we know. So the people who are brand new are the most likely to be able to grab this incentive. Those of us who've been in a while, sure, we can go out and work at it, but you're probably more likely if you're brand new. So if you want to add some extra dollars, take a look at earning that bonus. If you're earning that bonus, you might as well do the Entrepreneurs Club, where you take someone with you or you do 3-way phone calls to all the people you introduce it to. Because if you do it as a team, you can get another $300 for getting those 3 seniors, plus another 500 points. If you also go silver, so you've earned the step-up program of doing the 3 seniors, and you get enough volume to go silver in the process, which is 12,000 points for November and December. I need to back up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. If, in addition to the step-up program, you just got 1 more senior. Okay, so if you got 3 seniors this month and 1 more in December, or you got a total of 4 this month, you would qualify as someone to be one of the top 3 to achieve Team Kaizen. And if you did that, the Fairmont Mayakoba all-inclusive Caribbean resort, I'm estimating that very conservatively at a $2,000 vacation. If there's 2 of you on your distributorship, a whole lot more than that. So that's the prize that's eligible. And if someone goes silver in the month of November, December, there's another $1,000. Add that all up, that's $6,125 worth of bonuses, incentives, prizes, above and beyond the commission that you would get. All in favor of a big Christmas bonus. I mean, folks, this is unheard of. So if you're already silver, just bring that down to $5,000 and you're eligible for all those other things. So that is a really huge deal and reason to get moving. And think of all the lives that are blessed by these products being used, instead of people breathing toxic air and drinking toxic water and not having good sleep and all those types of things. We can transform lives in a way other people can't. So here's the Fairmont Mayakoba. Looks like a fun place to go. Looks like there's a lot of relaxing activities you can do at this place. So if you're interested, take a real good look. Now, I want to review this one more time. The grand essentials of life. Something to do. Not something just to think about, but you gain energy in the doing. You gain knowledge in the doing. You gain self-worth in the doing. Someone, something, lots of some things to love in the process. When you serve other people, and that's what this business is, you're going to find you serve people a whole lot before you ever get paid. And as you serve them, you will fall in love with them. And then you're going to start getting checks. And you're going to realize, man, if I keep serving and helping people, wow, what if I could create an empire, something to pass on? I want to share this one. It was really interesting listening to Mike DiMuccio. He said that he's one that's had big incomes with NIKKEN. He's made more per month than some people make all year in a regular job. And he had a lady one time said that she wouldn't want to do that. That would be, she would feel guilty if that happened. And he asked her a question. He said, how much would you need to just, take care of your needs and you'd be happy with? She said, if I had $5,000 a month, that would be great. And he said, well, what if NIKKEN sent you a check for $60,000? What would you do with the other 55? And she sat in silence. And he said, that's the problem. He said, you're only just thinking of yourself. If you had extra money to be able to go out and bless the world, who could you help? And that is the thing that NIKKEN has given us, is the ability to not only transform our own life and those around us, but we can help a whole bunch of other people in the process. So with that, I encourage you to grab a hold of these launch products, get a hold of Heather, and figure out how you can get these things and how you can help a boatload of people. And Heather, I turn it back to you.
Wow, thank you, Brody. Oh my. What a beautiful presentation. Thank you for all the new things we have. Woo!
Wahoo. And thank you for putting this together. You've done a fabulous job.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a great night, everyone.
Take care. And I'll get this posted for you so you can pass it out. I'm having a launch, a virtual launch on Saturday morning. So if people want to watch live, they can. Or if they get orders to me by that Saturday morning, then I can submit those then, okay?
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Again.